Okay, welcome back to our channel. As we have been having challenges with accessing the old channel, we're still at it, but anyway, for now we are here. As I said in the previous video, that I was in Zimbabwe in December and January, and I had to see firsthand the things that are happening in the land of Zimbabwe. Wakomana, things are bad. Vanhu vari kutambura kuzimbabwe. Things are not well in the nation. The economy is terrible. You know, let me wake up and speak nicely. Comparing from 6 years ago or 10 years ago, even if you go to 15 years ago, the economy is getting worse. However, if I look at the Robert Mugabe era and the ED era, ED seems to be a safer guy when it comes to election violence and the disappearing of people and stuff like that. He scores better. There seems to be more peace in the country with ED as president than when it was Robert Mugabe. Robert Mugabe was just extremely feared, and people disappeared, people died. But it is better on that front politically. Well, ZANU-PF is always going to be ZANU-PF. But however, when I look at ED and how he's trying to build the country, and somehow you get the sense that the heart of ED wishes for a better Zimbabwe, much better than the heart of Robert Mugabe. Yet somehow, somewhere, something is missing. Somewhere during the process of execution of policy, something gets lost in translation, and the real results on the ground are probably not what ED wants to see. Okay, I do not see ED as a president who wants things to go bad in the country. No, not at all. On the contrary, if when I follow him and I see the things that he does, on paper it looks okay, and he says the right things, and he moves probably in the right direction. But I guess the biggest issue is the pace. The pace of ED presidency in implementing policy or to develop the country is very slow. That's the only problem. But because the pace is very slow, it causes economic outcomes to be dire for the people. Because on the ground, people earn less now than they used to earn during Robert Mugabe's time. I mean, that is all the economy we should be worried about. If you look at economic growth, I just want to say this thing. When you look at the hard figures, even if people say the economy grew by 5% or 10%, it means nothing if the economy of the majority of the people, of the poor people, is getting worse. In Zimbabwe, there's a shrink in the salaries, the standard of living of ordinary people. Understand? Even the physical appearance of the country, Bulawayo is much more dirtier. It's getting older. The infrastructure is aging, and nobody is improving the infrastructure. All right. Not that the ED government isn't improving any infrastructure at all. If you go to the same border, the border is it's well built. The new border at Beitbridge is amazing. Oh. However, as we get in towards Gwanda on that Beitbridge Gwanda road, there are some parts where the road is extremely terrible. and you're wondering if this is a national road that is like that. But I do not know what's going on there. That road has been ignored. Beitbridge is booming, it's growing as a city. I mean, like obviously it's growing because of the money that is made at the border. The border town itself, because of the border economy, Beitbridge has been growing over years at and on leaps and bounds. And there is need to be a government-oriented investment in Beitbridge to see how it can translate into an economic hub. Okay, we can grow that Beitbridge into an economic hub because of the border town economy. Another economy that is growing, another city that is growing that I saw is Gwanda. Gwanda is growing because I think maybe it's because of the mining activities around there. Maybe also its proximity to Beitbridge. But there's a boom in that city. You see, these are natural booms that are not really forced on the people or on those economies by the government, but they are growing naturally. And then you have got cities like Bulawayo that are dying, and Bulawayo's case is dire. It's worse now than 5 years ago or 10 years ago. As I said, the problem is the low income. A lot of people that I spoke to earn less now than they used to earn before, and jobs are paying less. This is this is this shows that there is slow economic activities in Bulawayo and in other major cities. I didn't go to Harare, so I do not know what's going on in Harare. So since there is a slowing down of these economic activities, it means that the rate of money, what do you call it? I'm forgetting this term. The rate at which money exchanges hands is is very slow. Okay. So there is something that has to be done there, and the government has to figure it out. But I guess the government will not figure it out, because if I look at the ED government, it's a government made up of people that feel like they are safe from public scrutiny, and therefore they can do as they please. No one will blame them. People will just blame ED. Okay. So I feel like for the government of Zimbabwe, it's very easy to hide behind Emerson Mnangagwa because he's the president. But you discover that a lot of incompetence is within cabinet and within government institutions across the board. And and I don't know whether ED is soft on them or what, but I see that as things break down, it's going to do with a lack of competence within the government space sphere itself. So there need to be a shaking up of the Zimbabwean government. The heads must roll. There are some people who must stop working for the government, and there's some fresh blood that must be uh, roped in there. Okay, so we will look at the sectors if we have time, but I don't have time and I don't have the figures as well, the exact figures. But I did see the situation, that the situation is terrible.